when we say accountable parenting, the first thing we want to discuss, and we always, because we have sessions about accountable parenting. So the first thing we really touch on is, did you build a support system to support you in raising your children? And that's one of the things we talk about all the time, meaning that's the framework. When you got pregnant, do you have people around you who are going to be honest with you and help you while raising your children? Or are you trying to do it alone? Or are you trying to be, a warrior? Because the best you can be is with great support. And a lot of people take pride in, doing the single parent thing. And really, a lot of us aren't single parents because we have a network of people helping us support our children. So the most important thing is to find that network. If somebody, let's say a male, the father or the mother didn't step up, you find somebody next man up. You know what I mean? But you need supportive friends. You need a supportive environment first when it comes to being a accountable parent. It's all about, part two is it's acknowledging your strengths and their strengths and their weaknesses, and acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, when a child is 1 to about 5, you're really pouring a lot into them, and the relationship is kind of one-sided because you're nurturing them, and they're not as active and they're not a willing participant to build a relationship as much as they will be when they actually get older. So you need that outlet from other people. You need that connection from other people. But in doing that, you need to acknowledge where you need the support and where you feel you don't need the support. And you need to really identify that in your children too, where they need the support and where they don't need the support. So that's very important. And then can you acknowledge what Drastic said? Can you acknowledge where you went wrong? Because that's the biggest thing. We were raised, if you maybe 35 and up, you were raised in an environment where, you're seen but not heard. And not saying everybody's parent was like that. My parent wasn't even like that, but
my parent was.
Yeah, a lot of parents were like that. So, whether they was wrong or right, you was always being disrespectful. So do your children have voices? Are you able to hear them and acknowledge where you went wrong and humble yourself and say, listen, I was wrong. And you have the floor, speak and tell me where I could correct this. Are you having a conversation, or are you being a dictator? Are you a parent that truly just believes you're truly nurturing the spirit of your child by silencing them every time, even when you're wrong? And that's one thing. Is everybody that's raising your children on the same page? Are we on the same page? Do they have the same guidelines? Now, obviously, you're going to fight and fuss about different values and things that come up because you're not going to be aligned all the time, but is the destination the same? Because if you have the same destination, you always can find a solution when everybody's not on the same page. Get on the same page because y'all walking towards the same place. And whoever has the fastest way to that place obviously has more to say, and you follow their lead. So that'll be one of the things. And then we also ask, do you understand that you're raising your children in the developmental stage? They're not adults. They're not expected to, have the same consciousness that we have. They're not expected to have, to be crucified for mistakes that adults make. And we see it all the time. Adults give passes to their friends, their spouse, talking about they make mistakes, but they're really hard on their kid for the same thing. And how we hard on kids that are developing and not hard on our adult relationships when those people are already fully developed. And yeah, do they get nurtured? Do they grow? Can they learn something? Of course. But again, if you're hard on your kid about it, you probably should be harder on your friends about it. And then, are you mindful that being an accountable parent is a relationship? What's the aim of being a parent as a whole? Is to build a relationship with your child. So eventually, y'all want to be on the same page and building a relationship with your child. So you first have to understand the relationship. And I always tell people, like, how some kids, they monopolize every TV in every house?
Yeah.
Like, they come in your room, turn to cartoons. They go to the living room, turn to cartoons. They go to their siblings' room, turn to cartoons. And we kind of like, let them watch it. But it's a relationship. So your kids should learn your likes and dislikes as well. They should sit and watch some of the shows. I'm not saying the graphic shows, but I'm saying some of the more age appropriate shows with you to let them know your likes and your dislikes and have them sit through those shows to understand like we got to spend time doing what you want to do and we also got to spend time doing what I want to do. We're building a relationship. And that's very important because a lot of kids are self-centered and we need to really show them that there's other people involved in our relationships early. And once they have that clear understanding early, they're able to nurture their relationships. So with saying all of that, I know it's a mouthful. What do y'all think?